We're a global venture capital fund. If you look at the last 5 years, the story in India from a startup and investing perspective has clearly been consumer, and more recently mobile consumer. And so the enterprise story has not been a big sort of factor out there to date. But with organizations like iSpirit that are championing the cause of B2B software companies out there. In fact, we took out, I volunteer with iSpirit. We released a report late last year, that the top 30 B2B software companies, B2B software product companies in India are worth $6 billion and employ nearly 20,000 people in India. And I think we could all agree that the future for India is not necessarily only software services, but it is software products. And when it comes to software products, the types of areas that are emerging in India are companies and products that sell into a lot of the newer consumer companies in India. So there are companies that sell analytics software to e-commerce companies in India. There are companies that sell search software for e-commerce. There are companies that sell mobile workforce management. You know, all the delivery companies that are emerging in India that are consumer branded, they all have massive workforces, thousands of people. They need to be managed through software. So we're seeing companies emerging to sell software to these consumer-facing companies. So that's an exciting new area. It's small today, but I think will grow over time. And some of those companies use this as a springboard to then serve similar customers everywhere around the world. So there are e-commerce companies everywhere in the world, but you could start with serving e-commerce companies in India, for example. So that's an exciting new area that we're seeing a lot of deal flow in. I think one clear thing is that a B2B software company is harder to explain to the general public than a consumer company like a Flipkart or an Amazon or a Zomato, for example. So when it comes to media and recruiting, it's a bit tougher. But I think investing, we as a firm globally put almost 2/3 of our capital to work in enterprise technology companies. And we've seen a lot of success. So, for example, we had a company called Aerohive, which is wireless infrastructure, go public last year on NASDAQ. It's traded up very nicely, doing well in the market leader. We had a company called Fusion.io acquired by SanDisk for $1 billion after going public. We have several SaaS companies out there, Elementum and others that are, going at the Fortune 500 in the US and Europe and doing very well. We've got companies like MuleSoft and Nutanix sort of in the middle tier. A company here in Bangalore called Qbol, that is Hadoop in the cloud, doing very well. Generally, maybe slightly longer gestation periods before they hit product market fit, but if they do, they can be very nice, predictable, high value companies over time. And we've seen a lot of excitement in the public markets around enterprise companies. A lot of them are going public these days. So very tried and tested models. Huge market, $500 billion a year spent in the US on enterprise. So very large market, very segmented. If you have an innovative, disruptive technology that is 10x better on price performance, you can take the market. We've been steady. We've been investing since 2006 in India. We're clearly one of the insiders in the market here. We've got a great team. And we've got a $1 billion fund that Lightspeed raised last year that we're investing out of. So very committed to the market, both on the consumer technology and enterprise technology side. We want to continue. And we've announced several investments recently. We announced Localoy last week together with Tiger, which is in the local services marketplace space, consumer play, mobile-centric play. We've announced growth rounds in companies that we were invested in the seed or Series A, in companies like LimeRoad, which is in the social commerce space. Again, Tiger came in there. We've had Oyo Rooms announce financing. That's doing really well. A marketplace for budget hotels. I stayed in one last night. Fantastic offering. We've got Indian Energy Exchange, which we invested in 4 years ago, which has gone from 50 trading partners to 3,000 trading partners, a B2B exchange for trading electricity across India. This is a business sort of value proposition where You know, in India, the problem is that you're not sure where power is going to come from, whether you'll have it tomorrow or not. But now that we have a national grid in place that is world class, I can send electricity from Assam to Bombay for delivery tomorrow. And this company is the leading company that makes the market between buyers and sellers of electricity. I can say I want a megawatt of electricity tomorrow in Bombay. The marketplace allows me to find a seller. I pay for it. The platform then books a corridor, almost like a road, on the grid from Assam to Bombay. That electricity travels over the next day and is delivered to me tomorrow. And the marketplace manages the payment flows, the integration with the grid, and is very liquid. It's got 90% plus market share in India. And we think that's a real service to the nation, because there are always parts of India that have less power than they need, and there are parts of India that have more power. And you can make the market and solve a real problem in India. That's what a lot of our investments are about, solving real India-based problems. Our focus is on staying partnered with companies for 7 to 10 years at a time until there's an exit. We don't invest to sell out in an interim round. That's not our model.
Look, you gotta have enough leverage in the market, and your traction needs to be really, really high. It's very simple. Product, market fit. See, this is how it works.
Yeah, tell us your idea.
There is a huge part that people don't realize of angel investing is not about making money. It's about being in the know what's happening in the world and what's the latest thinking.